Bounce a rock down the court, we ready to ignite. Hop on the mic, it's the thrill of the fight. The All Sports Podcast, we gon' take flight. Analyzing every play, keep it fresh and tight. We bring the heat, never backing down. Yeah, we talking shots, we talking moves. The All Sports Podcast, we make the grooves. From the court to your ears, we got the tools. In the game of life, we breaking the rules.
To the NBA segment of the All Sports Podcast. My name is Gabe Quinton, and this is the second episode. Thank you for joining us today. Got a few things on my mind. First and foremost, I do want to talk about Dikembe Mutumbo losing an NBA legend, Hall of Famer, on and off the court. The NBA's first official global ambassador. So obviously, words can't explain how many people in the NBA community feel. Losing somebody of that stature, especially to a battle to brain cancer, was not the news that we expected. But he leaves behind a beautiful family, 3-time All-NBA player, 8-time All-Star, 6-time All-Defensive Team, 3 of those being first team, led the NBA in rebounds twice, 3 times in blocks, and was a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Many of us remember him for the many battles he had with Jordan and many other legends, with the infamous finger wag. So condolences to the Mutumbo family and everybody that was close to him. So just wanted to give a brief moment of silence to him before we move on, guys. So yeah, guys, moving on to some other storylines, we have Caitlin Clark, who, headlines headlines the most anticipated rookie class for the WNBA, I would say, in recent history, or at least in my recent history, that as far as I've been following the WNBA, which hasn't been too long. So you have obviously Angel Reese, who also had an amazing year, setting the record for consecutive double-doubles. She was also an anchor for this rookie class as well. Caitlin Clark setting the records for most assists in a game and in a season for a rookie, first rookie in the WNBA to record a triple-double. And one of the leaders that brought the Fever to their first playoff berth since 2016. Though they got swept by the Connecticut Sun, I still believe it was a successful season for Caitlin Clark and the Fever, and as well to Angel Reese. Speedy recovery to her. The WNBA, something to look out for is the expansion draft. So teams will be added to the WNBA, expanding the the teams that are currently available. That will include changes to current rosters, as certain players might be drafted to some of these new teams. Some players are obviously immune to this. But so there will be changes to the WNBA. I believe the game is getting better. The game is, reaching more masses that previously weren't familiar with the game. So I believe it is a great time for women's basketball. A lot of people are now being able to be exposed to the great talent that has always been a part of women's basketball. So that's something to look out for. And moving on to the NBA, one of the leading storylines, we have the Knicks making a blockbuster trade, sending Julius Randle to the Timberwolves, along with Dante DiVincenzo and a protected first-round pick via the Detroit Pistons. Sending that to the Timberwolves for Karl Anthony-Towns. And speaking with a lot of Knicks fans, there's been a lot of mixed reviews, some loving it, some hating it. But obviously it is a wait and see game to see how the new pieces mesh on their new teams. The Knicks obviously have a center issue to solve, with Mitchell Robinson dealing with an injury and losing Isaiah Hartenstein to free agency to the Oklahoma City Thunder. With Julius Randle's looming contract, I believe the Knicks kind of fell in the conversation of, do we want to commit long term to Julius Randle? We were going to have to give him a 5-year supermax deal, upwards of $200 whatever million he was, up for. He was a All-NBA player, All-Star. So, that's something to think about. You have Cat on a $220 million contract. To put that in perspective, the Knicks signed OG to $212 million. You have Cat, who is under contract for the next 2 years, and the third year for the 27-28 season being a player option. So I believe the Knicks have some wiggle room. Obviously, they have some draft picks that they can work with, and they're obviously in kind of like a win now mentality. They brought in Mikal Bridges. So, should be a promising season for the Knicks. I believe they have a legitimate chance to kind of battle with the Celtics for that Eastern Conference Finals championship. So, Dante, I believe Dante, there's a storyline out there that he wasn't going to be too happy with his newfound role with the Knicks if he had stayed, right? The Knicks had lots of guards, to say the least. They got Brunson, they now got Mikal Bridges, they would have had Dante. You got Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, they got Shamit, plus another rookie that they drafted. So they had a lot going on and just not enough minutes to go around, obviously. So something had to give. So sending one guard, they could have sent somebody else, but with these trades, obviously the money has to match. And with the storyline that Dante wasn't too happy with his role, maybe that has something to do with it. But we won't know, at least for now. And speaking of people on new teams, some new faces, we had media day for some teams today, with Paul George wearing some new threads with the Philadelphia Sixers, talking to the media today, talking about championship aspirations, as do many others. Obviously, beginning of the season, everybody is zip, so everybody, has a thought, or a belief that they have a chance to win a championship. So if the Sixers end up pulling off that feat, it will be their first championship since 1983. So, Paul George is going to be the third option on this Sixers team behind Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. So that trio could be something to watch this season. Somebody else, Klay Thompson on the Mavs, wearing those threads. Luka talking about Klay being a key to the Mavs championship efforts, and speaking specifically on the fact that when him and Kyrie have the ball, you can't really help off of Klay, right? Because Luka and Kyrie, being the playmakers that they are, they're gonna find somebody of Klay's, shooting ability wherever he may be around the perimeter to knock down that shot. So the Mavs are coming from, I would say, a successful season. So let's see how that works this year. A lot of heat in the West, a lot of great teams, a lot of teams that have, like I said in the beginning, championship aspirations. So very exciting to see where this all goes for everybody. Guys, haven't even started the season, but it wouldn't be right if I didn't give you my way too early NBA predictions for this upcoming season. Listen, a lot of things can happen. Who knows? Don't take my word for it. But for some of these awards, I have some front runners who I believe have a chance. Starting off with Coach of the Year. Just finished talking about the Knicks. Karl Anthony-Towns goes back to be coached under Tom Thibodeau. As we remember, Tom Thibodeau coached Karl Anthony-Towns in the Timberwolves for some time. So going back to Tibbs, Karl Anthony-Towns is no stranger to his coaching style. I think Tibbs has a great team in the Knicks, and he has a legitimate chance to kind of claim that Coach of the Year title. Another kind of dark horse, or maybe not dark horse, just somebody else who I think has a legitimate chance, is Taylor Jenkins from the Grizzlies. You getting Ja Morant back is never something to just kind of glance over. That is a bona fide first team All-NBA player who completely changes the dynamic of your team. So those are two picks there. Clutch Player of the Year. It's a relatively new award that the NBA has dished out, and for that one, are we gonna go Dame time? Is he gonna go back to Dame time? I don't know, guys. I mean, a whole entire year playing with Giannis. This is the second year of that quote-unquote experiment. The time is now. Neither of them is getting any younger. Obviously, Giannis, younger than Dame, but neither here nor there. The time is now. And being that the Bucks have a legitimate chance to kind of be in that battle for top of the East with the Celtics, with the Knicks, the Bucks, you got the Sixers there, so should be interesting. For the next award, no, actually, scratch that. In addition to Dame, my boy Shea from the Thunder, SGA, Mr. 31. Yeah. Thunder have a great team this year. Isaiah Hartenstein edition, Alex Caruso. They really revamped that defense. They already have Shea, who's a great defender, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, of course. So something to look out for. That team is going to be great. So Clutch Player of the Year, Dame, Shea, something to look out for there. Rookie of the Year, we have somebody who kind of dogged him preseason. Can I even say dog? 20 points. He went like 13 for 18 from threes or something like that. Not too sure, but dude, Reed Shepherd was balling during preseason. Shooting numbers were there. Houston Rockets are looking for kind of that Fred VanVleet kind of point guard guy that can shoot, distribute a little bit. I don't know. He can kind of come in and do some things. Reed Shepherd could be maybe a Rookie of the Year candidate. You have Zach Edey with the Grizzlies, who is a Obviously 7-footer presence in the paint going into a Grizzlies team that finished 29th in field goals within 5 feet. And obviously that's 3, 4. That should be some easy buckets down low, especially when you have, like I said, Ja Morant. And Steven Adams. Losing Steven Adams is not going to be the best thing for them, so they do need a big body to kind of set those screens and be that guy. So maybe Zach Edey, who knows, maybe not. Most improved, I don't know, that kind of award is kind of up in the air usually, but Josh Giddey, new team, Bulls, more of a defined role, you could say. Bulls organization are saying that Lonzo Ball should be ready for the opener. So obviously that changes your team a lot. You have a willing passer, somebody that can get people involved. That should be good. 6-man. Alex Caruso on the Thunder. That should be interesting. Depending on how they do that lineup, obviously, but Caruso could be a nice option there. Just thinking about that rotation a little bit. You also have Malik Monk, guys. They added DeMar DeRozan over the offseason. Malik Monk was already a pick that a lot of people say deserved the 6th Man of the Year this year over Naz Reid. Even though Naz Reid deserved it, but that was a battle between those two guys, so he can maybe come back this year and kind of claim that for himself. So, but a pick that I believe could have a great chance, Dante DiVincenzo. He could maybe be coming for that kind of 6-man role, kind of stepping into that, what he was already kind of doing for the Knicks. Obviously, he was starting a lot of games due to injuries, but I believe that 6-man role for him in the Timberwolves will be a lucrative one. So, can't wait to see him do great things over there. Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, is there any other? I mean, Wemby, obviously, right? Like, who else you got? You got Rudy Gobert, who, quite honestly, I think people are kind of tired of voting for him, and you're gonna have those people who don't believe he even deserved it. I'm not exactly one of those people. He anchors one of the NBA's best defenses. Wemby could have easily won this award his rookie year. I believe he's coming for it his second year. He already kind of took a shot at Gobert, kind of saying that this was his last time winning it. So, Wemby playing for the France national team obviously gives him that extra bit of work, extra bit of exposure. I think we're in for a big jump for Wemby. He added 25 pounds. He went from 210 to 235. So we got some muscle on there. And, that should translate on the defensive end and the offensive end. And for MVP, I'm going to keep Taylor Luka. Obviously, you have people like Joker and Embiid who are always at the top of the class for those type of awards. You have Shea, who's coming into his own. But quite honestly, I believe with the addition of Klay Thompson, Luka, for me, becomes kind of like that guy that can put up those video game numbers this year. Dude could easily average a triple-double this year. So yeah. That for me is some early awards, guys. Obviously, things can change. We're in for an amazing season, but let's wait and see. Again, guys, my name is Gabe Quinton. Thank you for joining us in the All Sports Podcast, episode 2. Follow us on all the socials, follow us on X, all that good stuff to get awesome updates on us. We got some NFL segments, we got some hockey segments, we got all that good stuff coming for you guys. Leave some comments, like, subscribe, do all you can. So holla at us next week, where we're going to be talking about more exciting storylines throughout the week. Yeah, man. Peace out, guys. Till next time.
So tune in tight, feel the hype, let it grow. The All Sports Podcast, it's the show we know. Yeah, we talking shots, we talking moves. The All Sports Podcast, we make the grooves. From the court to your ears, we got the tools. In the game of life, we breaking the rules. So tune in tight, feel the hype, let it grow. The All Sports Podcast, it's the show we know.